Rosa Parks was a 42-year-old black woman who refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man. Her simple act of defiance sparked a year-long boycott that changed the course of the civil rights movement and made her an international icon of resistance against racial segregation. But her story began long before that fateful day on the bus. Rosa Louise McCauley was born on February 1913 in Tuskegee, Alabama. When Rosa was 2, her parents moved to Montgomery, the state capital, where her father became a chauffeur for a white family and her mother worked as a domestic servant. Although the family had very little money, they instilled in Rosa the importance of education and self-respect. Rosa excelled in school and was particularly influenced by her 4th-grade teacher, who encouraged her to read books about strong black female characters. By the time she was a teenager, Rosa was an accomplished student and a well-known activist in the black community. She joined the local chapter of the National Association for the Advancements of Colored People and helped organize protests against racial violence and discrimination. In 1932, Rosa met a young man named Raymond Parks, who became a pivotal figure in the Montgomery Bus Boycott. They married in 1933 and had a son in 1934. Throughout the 1930s and 40s, Rosa continued her activism while raising a family and working as a secretary for the Montgomery Improvement Association. Then in 1955, everything changed. On December 1st, Rosa boarded a bus with a white male driver. After she had paid her fare, she sat down in the colored section at the back of the bus. As the bus filled up, more white passengers boarded, and soon the section where Rosa was sitting was completely full. According to the laws of Alabama, the driver had to give up the front seats for white passengers if there were enough seats in the colored section, but he didn't. Instead, he told the black passengers in the colored section to give up their seats so that the white passengers could sit down. Rosa refused, citing the Supreme Court ruling in Brown v. Board of Education, which declared racial segregation in public transportation unconstitutional. When the driver demanded that she give up her seat, Rosa replied, "No, I'm not going to give my seat up." She was then arrested and charged with violating the city's segregation laws. News of Rosa's arrest spread quickly through the black community, and the Montgomery Bus Boycott began the very next day. For over a year, black citizens of Montgomery refused to ride the buses, even though it meant that many of them would have to walk miles to get to work. The boycott ended in December 1956, when the Supreme Court ruled that racial segregation on buses was unconstitutional. But Rosa's story doesn't end there. In the years that followed, she traveled all over the world, meeting with leaders and activists who were fighting for justice and equality. She was a major force